I didn't know about Black Swan Walk until lockdown. Now this was a really nice tailor's in there. Now we've got Chapel Walk here, and they're talking about spending a few £1 million on it. Well, it's so awful in the bottom of here. And do you know what? I'm going to take you down here. I've been told that I film it at the wrong time, so let's have a walk down Chapel Walk. Now we've got a Staniford's here, a local name, Bakers, but they're shut. It must be about 1:30 on a Saturday. I think they're shut at 2 o'clock, but you can start to see what it looks like down here. But there used to be a fantastic fruit and veg place in Staniford's, but you know, we're like 1 o'clock, 1:30 now, and people are telling me I'm filming to get the maximum effect. Well, Sheffield United's at home, so Sheffield United supporters are in town, and you can just see how bad it is. This is a Sanctuary Cafe. This was an open doorway from Marks and Spencer's that they closed down, which I think's damaged this area as well. But this was, you know, full of fantastic independent shops at one bit. But as you can see, there's a sign on this end of Chapel Walk. What I can't understand is, us born and bred Sheffielders know about Chapel Walk, but why ain't there one at the other end? On the Fargate end, it won't cost that much to stick one of these up on the other end to draw people in. There's nothing to draw people in. Like I said, I didn't know about Black Swan Walk, even though I'd been born and bred from 1964. I didn't even know about Black Swan Walk, so a lot of people coming to Sheffield won't even know. But here you've got the snooker, Crucible, built in 1974, and there's talk at the moment they want to move out of Sheffield. It's still got a contract of 3 years for the snooker, but they're saying that they don't hold enough in the Crucible, even though it's going to ruin it when you put in a stadium full of 3,000. But they also want to try and move it across to Saudi Arabia or China or somewhere like that, because they can get more money. And that just shows you the sort of greed we've got in society nowadays. So we're looking back down towards Arundel Gate. You've now got a bus interchange now on Arundel Gate. Like I said, the Pond Street now is absolutely dead. So we've got the Victoria Hall just here. What I'll do is I'll just whip back through another road here, because I used to love this road on the way to work in the morning or coming back in an evening. But I thought we want to get rid of cars from Sheffield city centre. I've never seen so many cars in the city centre. But one warning, if Labour get in government, they'll start charging people to drive cars in cities. So we're on George Street. Never busy George Street, because it wasn't that type of place. But it's got some absolutely beautiful buildings, so I thought it's worth walking you back through George Street. So we've got the Curzon Cinema here. I never had a decent film on to go and see what the Curzon Cinema was like. The prices are cheap if you get an online account like me for free. I think it's only about £7 or £8 at most to go in Curzon, so that's cheapest cinema I know of in Sheffield. So you can see Sheffield Curzon Cinema. I'm going to spin round and show you another building. So here was the regional head office for Midland Bank. Beautiful building. It's been shut for a long time now. I think it was NSPCC at one bit. But this is just so fantastic, this building. Why can't we build like this anymore? It's absolutely gorgeous, that building. Let's get back onto High Street. So as you came from the hole in the road down there up some escalators, you walk along here and you couldn't move for people. It would be an absolute sea of people. And even in the 1950s, before they put the hole in the road in, I've seen pictures of this corner and it's absolutely snided with people. Well, this is Saturday afternoon now, about 2 o'clock. The biggest thing around here now is obstructions, as you're going to start to see. Here they're putting metal posts in everywhere. Now you're a small, medium-sized business and your delivery drivers are going to struggle to get to you in normal working hours. You're not a big corporate concern who can have somebody staying over till late at night or wherever. But the thing that shocked me down more than anything was the number of food places. You just couldn't believe the number of food places in Sheffield. But you know, as we walked back towards the Haymarket, we couldn't find a decent place to go and sit down and have a cup of coffee and a cake. And my dad said, which I'll repeat again, he said Sheffield weren't as bad as this in the Blitz. So as you can see there, it looks like you can only get your cars up at certain times. So you're a small business, you're going to struggle to get deliveries. So it's all geared up for these large companies that can leave one member of staff there to load up in middle at night. But your smaller business, your family run businesses, they can't spend all the working hours at the business. But the progress on here is so slow. And you can see the standard of shops along here now. I tend to probably go a bit too quick for people. I didn't realise. So we've got Marks and Spencer's still here. How long it'll last I don't know, because this has been turned into an events area in the future. It's more aimed for the university than the folks actually paying the council tax in Sheffield. Does nothing for the older people. But we're told that it's Meadowhall and online shopping that kills Sheffield. No, it isn't. It's Sheffield City Council with the policies being anti-car. They could have probably blocked Meadowhall when it was originally built. But then, if it had gone to some sort of government decision, then they could have competed against Meadowhall by sorting the parking was okay, they got rid of it. So once you get rid of the parking, people are saying, well, it's easy to drive into Meadowhall for free than park in Sheffield. So it's their business as usual. It's not right easy to run your business around here because you don't know where they're going to be doing work next. So just here, this is where Next was. And what they were doing is they were doing the building up on this corner, and then it had to be knocked down because of structural defects, and then the developer's gone bust and it's now just stuck like this. W.H. Smith hanging on. But you can start to see some of the work going ahead down here now.
Oh, just the camera was
So we had HSBC here, now they've moved to the bottom of the Moor. We had about 5 or 6 HSBCs in town at one bit, and just one left. People say that people didn't want branches anymore, but they were pushed out of the branches. I don't know if anybody remembers in lockdown how they were making people queue up outside branches to get in, really ridiculously long after there was an alleged issue. So we've got the entranceway now to Orchard Square. We'll just look. There's the entranceway. Now I'm trying to work it out. I'll swing back round in a minute, but I just want to show you these massive posts now. Now I've got no fear of terrorists, folks. I don't believe it's as big a threat as made out to be, and if this is what these are for, I don't buy into the argument. But somewhere around here was the Goodwin fountains, and like what always happens with Sheffield, things don't get maintained. There's nothing wrong with the Goodwin fountains, other than it needed a good clean periodically, new motor every few years. I'll just show you down Leopold Street. You can just see how empty Leopold Street is. Just here was the Buccaneer originally, but this old frontage has been changed in the 1960s. The Fountain Precinct replaced the Grand Hotel, and that would have been about where the Buccaneer was. Now, the entranceway, all this area here, used to look like down there, so where it looks really nice, they knocked that down and replaced it with 1960s stuff. But what they could have done is they could have kept that frontage down there and built the offices behind it and got best of both worlds, but that's not what they did. But they're making it more and more difficult, because I think before lockdown buses could get through here along Pinston Street, and now they've blocked buses coming through the middle of the town. So I'm trying to make a decision. Do I do Barker's Pool first, or do I do Surrey Street? Let's go down Surrey Street. But I'll just show you the town hall first. You can start to see the work progressing now. But they're narrowing the roads down, as you can see on this corner here. And in a moment I'm going to show you where the new hotel's going. So it looks like it's only going to be one lane round here. But if you're staying in the new Radisson Blue Hotel, I don't think there'd be any car parking in it. You're going to have to hump your baggage from a car park that you've paid for that might cost you, how much, 30 quid a night or whatever, on top of what you're paying daily to stay in the place. So this is the old penny bank, Yorkshire Bank, but it was originally an hotel. It seems busier than it is because there's just so many obstructions around. I'm trying to think of the name of the hotel there, I can't remember its name, but it had a lovely castle turrets on the top that have been removed. So you can get your car up to Norfolk Street, but I'm just going to show you the prices in a moment. But this is laughable here. We've got a bar downstairs just here, and this is where the gents' toilets were. I'm sorry folks, but I'm not going in a bar where the gents' toilets were for about 100 years. So we've got the Montgomery Hall here. I don't know what's happening with the Montgomery Hall because it looks like it's closed. Beautiful small theatre. I hope that's going through renovation and it's not closed for good. Been to a show in there and it was quite nice in there. Probably only held about 300, 400, but it serves a purpose for small amateur productions. I'm just looking for the car parking so I can show you how much it is. Probably end up coming. So we're looking down the top end of Norfolk Street just here. So you can get up Arundel Gate, up Norfolk Street to this area, but if you don't know your way, it's a bit of a nightmare. I had to drive my dad up here because he couldn't get a bus. Well, he could get a bus, but he'd be out nearly all day coming into Sheffield. And he didn't know how to drive his car in. So we've got the Ruskin building just there. In fact, I'll go down a bit more and show it you. So they get probably about 500 people, don't they, in the snooker, so there's going to be a few extra people around for the snooker. Top end of Crucible. Then you can see St Mary's Cathedral, which is a Catholic cathedral, beautiful building.
It's a tough competition to win though, isn't it?
So this was a bank, but it's now the head of steam. This is the upper chapel, and it's a Unitarian church, which means they believe Jesus existed, but he wasn't the Son of God, which is what I believe.